Hello everybody. I've had quite a busy day today. I've been making some wreaths from some twigs from a shrub that my husband cut down today, and I thought I can't bear to see those being wasted, so I made myself 9 plant supports, wreaths in circles, so that next year I'll have them in my workshop and next year they'll dry out nicely, and then when I want to put them around my plants to support them with some other sticks, next year I'll have them. So that's one of the things I've been doing today. As well, I've also been doing research. I do quite a lot of research now these days, 2 or 3 hours, maybe even 4 sometimes. And I was just washing some of my flower buckets, and I noticed an article in the Evening Telegraph from our area, and it caught my eye. It says here, now listen to this: school uniform supply crisis. Now, they go on to describe that since the COVID, we haven't been able to get a lot of the supplies of the school uniform. Now, there's a big article all about it. Now, luckily, I was pleased to see that the local councillor did say the children have lost enough school time due to the pandemic, and I would not like to see them lose more time for not having their uniform. So he's calling for them to, education call on the heads to show discretion as parents struggle to get hold of school items. Oh my God. Now, please help us, Father. Now look, I don't buy this rag. And luckily we're giving it from my family, and we use it to light our fire with. That's why I was looking down at it. It was warming on the Eider, ready to light the fire with. Now, the best thing you can do with this is burn it on the fire or use it to wipe your backside. Now, in my time, when I was a very little girl, I'm not ashamed to admit, when my parents didn't used to have the money to buy toilet paper, we ended up wiping our backsides on this, and now I see why it was the best thing to do with newspapers. Thankfully, I was so young that I didn't realise how bad it would actually make the state of my backside, but that's another story. But it just beggars belief, it really does. And then we're just doing some online shopping. My husband's I'm calling out the items we need from the online shopping. And the first thing he comes to, I said to him, well, we need some sugar, right? So I said, I need some demerara sugar because I want to make some sticky toffee pudding, you see. So he said, okay, I'll search. And he put sugar in the search engine. And do you know what the first 3 items it brought up? Red Bull. And Red Bull, you see, by this company, is a sponsored item. So it seems to me that all of these things that are bad for us are being pushed down our throat. Red Bull. Who the heck should be taking Red Bull? It's bad for you. There's so many reports out there that how bad it is for you. And they're encouraging people. It's the first thing you see when you go into the sugar, looking for sugar. So then the next thing, I said, oh, you better get us some coffee, love, because there might be a shortage of coffee coming up and there might be a shortage of tea coming up soon. So he went on to look at the coffee. And this is what he read out. Right, Kenco Smooth. And it was in a jar, 200 grams, and it was a £2 per 100 grams. But you could buy a plastic refill pouch, and for 100 grams, it was only 30p per 100 gram more expensive. Yes, you heard that right. 30p extra per 100 gram more. To buy it in a pouch, a plastic pouch, it was £2.30. That's 15% more to buy the coffee in a pouch, which is supposedly good for saving the environment. Well, I'm going to tell you something now. The glass jar can be used and used and used, and the plastic refill is not good for the environment. Now, people who are buying this are going to think, oh, well, it's going to be cheaper in a plastic pocket. Surely they're going to think that, aren't they? But it's not. You're being penalised by 15% extra per 100 gram. That's what? That's 60p. It was a £4 jar or £4.60 for a pouch. Now, people might say, oh, they've got so used to it now. They say, oh, well, I don't mind paying a bit extra for the environment, but it's not even good for the environment. Can you not see how we're being played? This is what I see now all the time. All the research I do, I just see it every turn and twist and turn. Now, to put crisis on a header for school uniforms, my goodness me. When I was a child, our school had school uniforms, the secondary school did, and I never had a school uniform. So there's loads of people who have the school uniforms, but is it really a crisis? I would have thought that the crisis are things like the World Trade Center being blown up or Titanic going down or big things like that. But no, they're putting that down as crisis, and it's all about control and keeping people living in a state of fear. I mean, we rely on these people to give us good news, and they're not working for us at all. They're not working for our benefit. They just use it to scare tactics. And not only that, we're being robbed with our taxes, being robbed at the shops, and what I want to know is how many other people see this? Do other people see this? It's not the money, it's the principle. This is what we all have to have. We all have to have principles. I mean, crisis. To call that, it's more of a crisis. Sacking the NHS workers, especially the NHS workers who are looking after the old people in the homes, because who's going to look after the old people? Who's going to feed the old people that are left? Who's going to make sure they have the correct medicine? That's a crisis. Let's get it into perspective, because I can see right through it. I've had enough of it. It's time everybody started standing up and saying something and acting locally and confronting these things. If I had a parent in an old people's home, I'd be saying something. I'd be asking, I want to see what medication they're having, what you gave them. If my parent dies, I want to know what you gave them, because these people need bringing to account. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on that matter, and I just thought I would share that. Luckily, I don't read the newspapers hardly ever, and I don't watch the news either, so luckily I'm protected from it most of the time, and all you need to do is pull away from the news media, from the news and the local newspapers, obviously, and things would be a lot better for you. Bye for now.